Hello, Internet. Shadow the dog is busy going crazy over there. Maybe you can hear him. Um, that would be him. So, an internet friend of mine, Jake, uh, asked me to take a look at his work on the deeper pocket drill, which came to me by way of Chris Taylor, a wonderful coach who helps me understand what the heck is going on in this crazy mixed up sport. So Jake sent me some clips, asked if he was doing it right. So we're going to take a look. And I'm going to put this in a format that is going to make sense on the YouTube channel in case Jake is okay with that. So Jake, I will reach out to you and ask said question. So this is what we got for a clip. Stack of blue putters, love it. So the elbow orientation here is questionable. If you're trying to throw flat from a hyzer tilt, then what you're doing is perfect. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then we might want to change your elbow address. But we'll look at that later. So I will post a link to the video that will fix that issue if it is indeed an issue. Just choose your own adventure of how complicated you want to get on form stuff. But here we can see another issue. I mean, the same issue. So your elbow is not on the plane that you're intending to throw the disc on. And again, if you're leaning forward, we'll just do a quick demo so you know what the heck I'm talking about. So if I want to throw on this flat plane here, and I set up like this is a problem because the disc and my shoulder are going to stay on the plane, but my elbow is not on the plane. So when I bend my elbow, what the heck is the disc doing, right? If I want the disc to stay on this plane, I need my elbow to bend on that plane. So that's going to cause you problems if you're not doing the more advanced thing. If you're doing the more advanced thing, then you do let your elbow come down. But what you're doing is you're putting your shoulders on this plane. So my shoulders are going to stay here. And if I put my elbow where it's going to bend on that plane, right, like this, where my forearm stays lined up with my upper arm, then I'm only ever going to get this about 45-degree hyzer angle. So if I want to keep this tilt in my spine and not throw on this hyzer angle, then I would need to drop my elbow down off of that plane, bring the disc up, and create a secondary plane here. So then I'm doing a weird thing where I'm externally rotating my shoulder, which rotates this upper arm bone in order to keep the disc relatively flat. It's harder, but it allows you to have better body mechanics without limiting you to this steep hyzer plane. So elbow goes down, disc comes up, and then there's external rotation towards release. So let me know what you're thinking on that front, if that's a concept you're aware of or not. But the question specifically was, are you doing the drill right? And you said maybe you get a little more snap. So you may have made an improvement, but you are not all the way there yet. And I can guess that from your address position here. So there's still a lot of space between your chest and the disc, and you're setting it up kind of a little bit towards your front side, but mostly on center chest. So this is probably where you're going to return to after you go to reach back and then pull through. You're probably going to come back to relatively close to this position because our bodies tend to just groove like that. So as you reach back, your elbow lifts up into its full extension position. That's an indicator that your elbow orientation isn't correct yet, or that you're doing the more advanced secondary plane from your elbow to your disc hand. So here we see you back relatively close to that same position you were in. So your elbow doesn't even really get to 90 degrees, not quite, and then it's already opening up again there. So the answer is no, you are not doing the drill correct yet, but you may be moving in the right direction. So what can we do to make it easier and make sure that you understand? Like, you probably understand what you're trying to do. It's just your body isn't doing it yet, right? So the best thing we can do is to film and check it. Let's make sure they're all the same. Yep. So you got a decent shoulder shrug. Your front shoulder is higher. The rear shoulder is inactive, which is fine because you're just trying a weird drill that's not making sense yet. So we may need to add in the offhand, but first let's just make sure that we're understanding the drill correctly. So it's going to be really hard to do this with a giant stack of T-birds in the way. It's going to be really hard to do this with your elbow low, right? Because your elbow isn't going to want to bend, because when it bends, the disc goes. It's just everything's weird, right? So for the purposes of this drill, get that elbow up to where, and start. Don't start here with space between your chest and your disc. Start here, disc on my right pec, like aggressively far forward on my right pec. Hand on the outside of the disc. This is your starting position. And my elbow is up where when I bend it, the disc is going to stay on the plane, right, the whole way. So start here, come to your reach back position. Maybe we want to add this, maybe we don't. Try it without first. Let's just get the elbow in the right spot. So you're going to reach back and out, pull forward. So all I care about is this position here, where you're reaching not straight back, but back and out. And then driving the elbow forward to here. So you can check this on your own. You can film, slow it down. You can't. I tried to do it on my phone because I was on Facebook Messenger on my phone, and your phone doesn't let you slow it down. But if you get on a desktop machine or a laptop and click on the little gear icon, slow it down to 50%, and then you can use the clicky pausing method to catch the frame you want. So I literally in this drill want to see a frame that is this: your hand in front of your disc, in front of your right pec, and your elbow way the heck out there. So you get to like here. So this, your elbow is too straight. I want it super pokey out in front of you. Why that matters is because you're ending up here, right, top view. So your elbow is unhinging from here to there over this distance, right? So you have that much elbow power. If you get to here, then from here to there, so in about the same amount of motion, you get more than 90 degrees of your elbow opening. So you're harvesting more power, right? You are currently harvesting like this much elbow power. And the way I'm suggesting you do it gives you more than 90 degrees. And it compresses that 90 degrees into a much smaller time and space. So that's why you get so much acceleration. You're literally cracking a whip by compressing the elbow here, and then it has to open up on its own very quickly before you get to your hit. So you're compressing all of that elbow extension into this little tiny window right here. So hopefully that's helpful. Ask questions if it's not. And thank you for asking the question. See you next time.